Here we are, back again. I know that the quick look didn't really get many views, but man, this fucking game, it gripped me, I feel like. I don't even know if it's a kinetic novel or if there are choices and bad ends, but I just want to know how it continues. And I mean, I might as well record it. I awoke on the living room floor to the sound of the doorbell ringing. Whoa, that's fucking loud. Jesus, scared me a little bit there. The vaguely familiar voice made me shudder. Nevertheless, I staggered to my feet like a puppet whose strings had been cut. I had no proof, but I was convinced. The hand belonged to a woman. Why? Did she have a really cute manicure or something? Maybe something with flowers. Hence the man outside wasn't dangerous. It was just a gut feeling. Too tired to deal with the intercom, I stumbled my way to the front door. Collapsing against it, I looked through the peephole to find my upstairs neighbor, Hisamatsu-san, looking tense. As I opened the door, the cool night breeze drifted in through the 1-inch gap permitted by the chain. She didn't undo the chain. She's still a little bit wary of what's out there. Oh, he heard her scream, that's why he came, okay. I had no clue what to tell him. His confusion must have registered on my face because he got a bit flustered.
こんばんは。301の久松ですけど。大丈夫です。覚えてますから。
Finally, my voice decided to cooperate. Very quietly though, and Hisamatsu-san was clearly relieved to hear it. Perhaps he'd mistaken my hesitation for mistrust?
それで、大丈夫ですか?
Yeah, 大丈夫? Or not 大丈夫? Personally, I had next to no memory of doing so. All I remembered is being rooted to the spot, my eyes glued to the balcony until the hand vanished from sight. Hisamatsu-san smiled sheepishly and nodded to my question.
まあ、僕が驚いて飛んできちゃうくらいには。別に俺でも構わないですけど、一向に。
I wasn't sure why he kept correcting himself over such inoffensive slang.
じゃあ俺で。
Guessing much of that is getting lost in translation.
どうしてわざわざ言い直してるんですか? いや、昔教授に気をつけろって言われまして、TPO をわきまえろってね。なるほどね。
The more we talked, the more I could feel myself calming down. And that ghostly hand started to feel more and more like just a bad dream.
で、どうしたんですか? いえ、ゴキブリをちょっと。ゴキブリ?
Even I didn't know where that lie came from. I couldn't stop thinking back to the perfectly empty apartment I'd seen only a few hours ago. My fear felt so fake in comparison.
ゴキブリね。見たことないゴキブリ。ここではないですね。前にいたオンボロアパートでは見ましたけど。なんだ、ゴキブリか。
Man, if the last apartment was a dump, what would he say about the apartment complex with a ghost? From the way he spoke, it sounded like he'd been expecting something else. Oh, he knows, of course he does. I couldn't stop myself from asking. Yeah, what were you expecting?
幽霊かな.
Dun dun. Instantly, a chill shot down my spine. Did he know something? But just as the suspicion crossed my mind, Hisamatsu-san grinned.
なんて.
Sure, just kidding, sure. You were just testing the waters, I guess. Nani?
泥棒とか痴漢だったら大変だと思ったんですよ。最近田舎も何かと物騒だから。
What?
まあ、そう。
That's such a flimsy excuse.
とにかく何もなかったようでよかったですよ。俺も安心して論文を書けるってもんです。そうか。邪魔しちゃったのね。ごめんなさい。
Man, if you can't see how confused she is right now and flustered about the whole ghost topic, you have to be blind, right?
いいえ。じゃあ、おやすみなさい。
And then just going and saying goodbye with such a good mood. It's just... Are you retarded or are you just socially inept? I made to close the door, but it stopped a few centimeters from the threshold. And just like that, a hand emerged. I looked down to find Hisamatsu-san's hand on the doorknob. Why would he keep the door open? That's really fucking creepy. He extended a slip of paper through the chain's gap. Oh, are they not allowed to talk about it, maybe? Oh, okay, no. Oh, wow, he's kind of flirting with me. Or her, I guess. Sadly. This time I shut the door without interruption. All at once, the energy drained from my limbs and I sank to the floor. I really thought he would give us, like, a little piece of paper where it said, I'm sorry I can't talk about it openly, but you need to get out of there and stuff. But no, he really just went ahead and got back to his apartment. From there I crawled on my hands and knees to check the bedroom. The balcony was perfectly quiet and perfectly empty, just as though nothing had ever happened. Half of my curtain still hung limply by a single hook. I hurried over and secured the rest of the hooks to the curtain rod. After that, I spent the rest of the night in the living room. Man, I would be straight out of there. I barely slept a wink that night in the end. Rays of morning sunlight streamed in through the living room curtains as I awoke. The sofa was by no means uncomfortable, and yet my body was sore all over. That said, I was in absolutely no mood to sit down and work. Everywhere I looked, the room was stacked high with cardboard boxes, some half empty, others broken down into neat folded piles. My desktop computer, an essential tool for any freelancer, was waiting for me on my desk. Unfortunately, my internet service wouldn't be ready until tomorrow, at least as far as I knew. Yeah, she's getting second thoughts, and I can get that. I got to my feet, walked over to the cabinet and opened the drawer. There I retrieved the rental agreement sitting atop the stack of papers, then walked to the window. Truth be told, I was afraid to open those stupid curtains. But there was no sense standing there in the dark either. Stealing my nerves, I threw open the curtains. My balcony sat empty under the bright morning sun. Beyond it lay an equally empty lot. Nothing suspicious in sight. Relieved, I opened the window. A dewy breeze blew in, and I returned to the couch, paperwork in hand. There, I flipped through the contract until I came across the section regarding move-outs. But what I found was so bafflingly exorbitant, I couldn't help but stare. Should tenant move out before a period of 1 year has elapsed, tenant agrees to pay a penalty sum equal to 6 months' rent. What is this? What is this fucking contract? Who would sign this? You should read it before you sign it. Man, you're working. You're not some kind of little kid. You should read contracts before you sign them seriously. This is really fucked up. I knew it was common for rental agreements to charge an early move-out fee during the first year. Not in Germany. After all, no landlord would want to deal with a rotating door of tenants. I've moved a fair few times in my life, and most of the apartments I've lived in have had similar clauses in their lease contracts, but only for 2 months' rent max. Less than that in most cases. In all my life, I've never heard of anyone charging 6 months' rent as a move-out fee, so this is all a money-making scheme. There is no ghost at all, it's just the old lady playing tricks on new people and then cashing in big time. They might as well have simply typed up, "You're stuck here" in size 72 font. I was more than willing to pay another month's rent if it meant I could leave. Hell, I could be convinced to pay too. After all, it was a paltry sum compared to enduring the terror of that awful dream, or hallucination, or whatever it was. Reality? But 6 months' rent, that was pushing it to say the least. I'd rather live in fear than pay 6 months' rent. I tossed the rental agreement back into the cabinet drawer, then stepped out onto the balcony. Beneath me lay the sprawling landscape of the suburbs, peaceful and picturesque. If this were a normal apartment, I'm sure the view would have left me feeling invigorated. Emboldened by the seemingly ordinary balcony, I glanced over at the one directly adjacent to mine. Granted, the privacy screen prevented me from seeing much. Is it privacy or privacy? Feeling a bit brave in the safety of daylight, I peeked my head over the partition wall. 202's balcony was completely empty. The sunlight streamed in through the sliding glass window, affording me a small glimpse into the apartment itself. It looked to be perfectly quiet, perfectly ordinary. Too quiet and too ordinary, maybe. And yet, I sensed an indescribable darkness inside. The apartment felt cold, somehow. Perhaps it was just a stark emptiness. Maybe it would have felt differently with some furniture in there. Just as I lowered myself back onto my own balcony, I was caught off guard by a sudden voice calling out to me. Ohayo! Ohayo gozaimasu. Ohayo. Nani? At first I couldn't tell where it was coming from. I shot a quick glance around but didn't see anyone. I looked up, and immediately it all made sense. He's right above me, okay. There was Hisamatsu-san peering down at me from his balcony. I seem to recall he paid me a visit just last night. Why is he... Is he watching us? Is he, like, keeping tabs on us or something? I'm not sure I can really trust him. Even though the Steam description said something about teaming up with your neighbor, and I think it's him, but still not sure if it's not all an elaborate plot of him, maybe. Maybe he's making money as well. Yeah. What about you, though? It was exactly what it looked like. Busted. Yeah, except for the ghost. She even showed me, but I decided to keep that bit to myself. Just then, an idea came to me. Maybe Hisamatsu-san was just the sort of person I needed.
Hisamatsu-san. Hi? お隣ってどんな人がいたか知ってますか? さあ、俺が越してきた時はもう誰も住んでませんでしたから。
Why doesn't she rent out 202?
そうですか。今ここの住人で202号室のことを知ってる人はいないと思いますよ。じゃあ誰なら。不動産会社かな。
Of course. Why hadn't I thought of that?
ま、簡単には話してくれないとは思いますけどね。
Yeah, why would they just talk about it like that?
それってどういう意味ですか？さ、俺も論文の仕上げやんなきゃ。じゃあそんなわけで。
She asked you a question. You can't just go, oh yeah, bye. No sense trying to stop him. I suddenly had somewhere important to be. Hisamatsu-san vanished back inside his apartment and I heard a sliding door shut. But more importantly, I had just obtained a valuable lead. I left the chilly balcony and headed to the bathroom to get cleaned up. Of course they are unable to. It's what you expect them... I mean, what do you expect from them? Do you want them to give your personal information out for anyone asking? No. So why would they give you the personal information of whoever has been living there? This was the first thing my agent said to me when I arrived at the real estate agency that had helped me sign my current lease. Chloe Wonderfork Realty. What a fucking name. And we're in Japan, right? So this name is even weirder. I'd chosen this agency simply because it was the first one that caught my eye, but the name was so fanciful, I often had trouble remembering it. But that was hardly important right now.
そこをなんとかどうしても知りたいことがあって。だからダメなんですって。最近はいろいろとうるさいんですよ。住人のことを漏らしたばかりに厄介ごとに巻き込まれることも少なくないんですから。
Yeah. He looked to be on the younger side, maybe a bit younger than me, and I could tell he was getting sick of me already. But I held my ground.
誰も住んでないはずの隣の部屋から怪しい音が聞こえたら誰だって怖いでしょ?
But what would the information of whoever lived there help you in this case? You don't think that whoever has been living there is still in there, right? If she's the first one to complain to the agency, why would they take her serious?
その正体を知りたいからいろいろ聞いてるんじゃない。
Have you asked your landlady to open it up for you so you can take a look inside? Yes, I have. Then I'm afraid I can't help you. That's what he's saying, right? Oh my god! It is actually what he says.
その大家さんが教えてくれないからオタクに聞いてるんでしょ?
I gotta say, this game does a good job at staying logical and still deconstructing what is happening and making you afraid. So she is trying all the proper things to do, and people are responding in a normal way. And this is no artificial horror. This is some real horror how it could happen. I don't know if you get what I mean, but I'm just saying they don't act dumb for the sake of pushing the story forward. They act like normal people, and I really like that. Yeah, I agree. Judging from his tone, he was used to dealing with this sort of thing. I fixed him with a sharp glare, but just then another client walked in, family in town.
いらっしゃいませ.
Her voice casually breaks the tension hanging in the air.
そういうわけなんで、今日のところはお引き取りを。
冗談じゃない.
I didn't come here to mess around. After everything I'd been through, in one day, in my brand new apartment no less, I wasn't going anywhere.
オタクが紹介した物件で夜も眠れないほど怖い目に遭ってるんですよ。この落とし前は一体どうつけてくれるの?
That's a great thing she's doing here. She's making a scene. She's making a fuss so everyone can hear it. And now he has to react to calm her down. Otherwise, she could risk future clients. Right? They could lose them. Man, fuck me. My English today. Never underestimate the backbone of a woman who works freelance. I knew exactly how to handle this. My voice echoed through the office and my agent paled. I shot a quick glance around, and sure enough, the family that had just walked in was now looking nervously in our direction. You see, that's what she was planning to do. And I knew the agent had noticed this too.
その件に関しましては、誠心誠意を持って対応させていただきます。こちらでお話を。
Looking utterly defeated, the agent led me into a cubicle in the back corner of the office. Clearly he knew he was at the end of his rope. The area was furnished with 2 couches facing each other. Perhaps this was where they held business negotiations. The agent gestured for me to sit on one side, then spoke in a low voice.
少し待っててください。
Huh. As he disappeared beyond the partition, the receptionist brought me a cup of tea. By the time I'd taken my first sip, the agent reappeared with a file folder in hand. He really is doing it? Wow.
僕が教えたってことは、くれぐれも内密にお願いしますね。
The agent flipped through the folder, looking far more rattled than before. I glanced at the name tag affixed to his chest. Sorry about this, Hirai-kun. Or Hirai-kun, I guess. I swear I'm not trying to be a bitch. I don't really have any other choice.
それで202号室には一体どんな人が住んでて何があったの?
They died.
それは実は僕にもわからないんです。
He doesn't know, huh?
ちょっとそれじゃ話が。
まあ聞いてください。うちの会社があのアパートの仲介をやるようになったのは4年前からなんです。その時にはすでに202号室の賃貸募集は行われていませんでした。
What does off the market mean in this case? They don't even try to lease it anymore?
あなたが教えてくれる事情って?
But why? They have to know a reason for it, right? Otherwise it's just dead money lying around. Nervously, Hirai-kun continued to leaf through the folder until he found what he was looking for. There, he pulled something free from the paperclip and slid it across the table.
名刺?
うちの会社より前にあのアパートを取り扱っていた会社です。
どういうこと?
そこの社長が首を吊ったんです。もともと家族経営の不動産屋でしたから、社員は社長一人でしたし。でも家はそのまま会社があった場所の隣にありますから、うまくいけば奥さんには話が聞けるかもしれませんよ。
Man, I like the music.
なるほど。その社長が首を吊ったのはいつ？
And I like that they included like a little fade out for the music whenever someone talks.
4年前かな。
Not enough games
う
to
ち
do
の社
this.
長とは仲が良かったみたいで、そこで扱ってた物件のほとんどうちが引き取る形になりました。僕が教えられるのはこれくらいです。
ありがとう。
The fact that the complex's previous real estate agency CEO had committed suicide felt like a huge revelation. It could just be coincidence, really. Maybe it was worth my time to poke a little further, especially in Japan, sadly. Meanwhile, Hirai-kun let out a sigh of relief, but unfortunately he wasn't rid of me quite yet.
もう一ついいかしら。
なんでしょう。
私が今住んでいる部屋、シャトレ・ロマーヌの201号室には以前誰が住んでいたの？
Man, do Japanese really do that? Do they call their apartment complexes I don't know. Do they give them such weird names? Châtelet Roman? What?
201ですか。あそこは結城さんが入るまで近所にある地方銀行の借り上げだったんです。
Local bank chain.
去年までは女性が住んでいたはずですよ。
Yet another young woman, huh?
どんな人？
若い女性でしたね。確か久松さんって言ったかな。
What? That's the same name as mine. Oh my god. He moved in after that? Because she went missing or died or something, and he's investigating it. I bet you.
久松。
Yeah, Kai is just like, Nani? My upstairs neighbor shared that same surname. Something about that gave me pause.
ねえ平井さん。
はい。ってあれ？どうして僕の名前？
Seriously? Are you dumb?
ネームプレートつけてるじゃない。もしかして201号室って頻繁に人が入れ替わったりしなかった？
Hirai-kun frowned at my question. Clearly he'd been hoping I wouldn't ask.
そうですね。201と203。特に201は僕が受け持った最初は入居してもすぐに出ていく人が多かったです。
This just hurts since I was praising this game for its logic, but this is one of the things where it just has to follow horror logic, I guess, since they would investigate if it went through that many people in such a short time. They would look into why. But suspension of disbelief, right? You have to take it as you get it.
久松さんも会社の借り上げだから仕方なく住んでいる感じでしたよ。だから大家さんが違約金の条件を厳しくしたんですよね。
ねえ、そういうことって普通入居時に言わない？
一定期間住んだ方に何もなければ言う義務がないんです。そもそもあの部屋自体は何かあったわけじゃないですから。
There haven't been any incidents in that one. He had a point. Regardless, I got the sense I'd learned all I could from this lead. I downed the rest of my cold tea, then stood up from the couch. Instantly, I could see relief flood over Hirai-kun's face.
教えてくれてありがとうね、平井さん。
いえいえ。
Yeah, arigato.
でも、くれぐれも僕が言ったとは。
No. It's daijoubu. I won't tell.
内緒にしとくわ。ああ、でも、また聞きたいことがあったら来るかも。
Yep, you're mine now. Oh, poor guy. I could see "please spare me" written all over his face, but I ignored it and walked out of the cubicle. The family from earlier was still in the office and they looked at me with concern as I approached. I put on my best smile and turned to look at Hirai-kun behind me.
ほんと、誠実な対応をありがとうございました。これで安心して住めます。
Man, fucking women, am I right? They are such good actresses. And they always get what they want.
本当に申し訳ありませんでした。
Admirable, really, I think.
じゃあ、また何かあったらよろしくお願いしますね。
But maybe it's just Kai, and she's just... I quite like her so far.
今後ともよろしくお願いします。
I haven't seen her face yet or something, but... I just like her. I like her voice as well. The family looked relieved to see that a hard-working agent had successfully resolved the complaint. With that little matter taken care of, I headed for the door.
ありがとうございました。またのご来店をお待ちしてます。
Hirai-kun called after me, his voice stiff and robotic. Man, he's just glad I'm gone, isn't he?